Good afternoon and welcome to HTML5 and CSS3 for beginners, part number 15. And without wasting much of your time, we'll just get started because it takes hell amount of time, designing consumes a lot of time. So let me give you an overview of what we have achieved so far, and to give you that, and this is what we have achieved so far. We just created this slide color. So what my job today is not to teach you only layouts, but to teach you some color combinations as well. And we use this image and we try to make it a flexible model, right to the extent of tablet, not like actually responsive but flexible, right? Flexible is going to be for all the laptops and tablets, right? And then if you want the same model to run on mobile devices, that we are going to run and learn making responsive web applications, right? And so far this is not also bad, right? We'll try and create a very nice designing pattern right here, and then we'll see, right? And we'll also learn color combination. I've just given a hint of orange here so that you can understand why do I use this orange, right? And why did I use it actually, okay? All right, and now we have this top header this time, and we have another header here which is from this side. You can see top header has two sides, top sidebar left and right, and without even floating right and left, we just align them horizontally, right? So one is from here, one is from here, and then we have the main header, main wrapper, which takes header, and we haven't done actually anything with this header, right? What we did was with this main section, right? And what I want to do with this header is something that you will see in couple of minutes maybe, or maybe something, right? And then we have this content div, right? And it has a sidebar, right? And it has an image, and rest is inside the styling. We imported some fonts, right? And did some styling, and all you're aware of what we did yesterday, right? All right, let me move to top header left side, right? And what I do right here, I will make a UL, right? Or let me make a nav here, so that our search engines also come to know that this is a navigation, and in this navigation we have UL, and then I have li here, all right? And this is going to be my li sorry, for contacting. Let me say contact sales, right? Or let me say contact front office, and I'll say contact operations, right? So let me take a look at this. Absolutely all right, and as I wanted it to be. So I'll go to sidebar left quickly without wasting much of your time, and I'll say it has a navigation inside, right? Inside navigation I have li, and I will just target this li. I'll say, hey li, what you got to do is you got to float, or you got to display, let me call this as display inline block, right? I want you to be display inline block, and then immediately what happened? Why don't I give this navigation? So I'll say nav id is equivalent to top navigation. It's going to be the top navigation, and then we'll have the main navigation, right? And inside top navigation you have an li, and display them inline block. Why doesn't it apply to this? Maybe we have some caching problem. Let me refresh it and see what is wrong. So for that, let me go and delete the history first, so that we'll do it right from the beginning. We'll start from the scratch, okay? And it takes hell amount of energy, this designing, right? So top navigation, it is inside aside, which is top navigation. It has UL, and then it has, okay, look what I do. I close this UL here, and then I open another UL, and this is the mistake. I don't know. Okay, this is UL and this is UL. Both the things were wrong. Now let me refresh. Yeah, they are floating inline. So let me say margin left is equivalent to 100 pixels, right? So now we have 100 pixels margin left, and we don't have that space available. Maybe with this header left, yeah, top left is only 500 pixels, so I can make it 600 pixels. Yeah, now you can see it has some margin. Now, why did I say margin left here? So, no, my mistake. I keep on doing these mistakes. I don't know what has happened to me. Right. So, you don't have to say, you have to say top navigation, just li. You'll have to say padding dash left. And I'll say padding left 10 pixels is sufficient. Right. Now, you can see there's a bit of space. And I'll say border, border dash right 1 pixels solid hash triple C or 999 maybe. Yeah, now you can see that padding right has worked to some extent, I could say. Right, and padding left will not work, padding right will work. Yeah, now we have 10 pixels padding, and now I'll say UL. Top navigation has a UL and I want to give margin left, let's say about 100 pixels, right? I want it to start from here, not from the corner, right? Yeah, from here. So now it looks much better. Let me give padding right of 15 pixels to be more, yeah, we have this. And let me give padding, or let me have this 10 pixels and 10 pixels, right and left both. So that, or let me have it like this, padding 10 pixels from all the sides, right? So now you can see, now you have this sidebar coming, right? And I can say margin top 10 pixels. Okay, now you can see now I don't want this margin right here at the end. What I can do, I can go to UL and li, which is the last li here, and I can say, hey li, I want you to style, right, and take border none. I don't want any border, right? And now you can see, now we are getting this separator. The border looks like a separator here, and what I'm going to do right here, right now, is increase, not increase, but decrease the font size to 12 pixels. It will look better. No, too much better, right? So 14 pixels. Right, and now you can see contact is good, contact front office, contact operations, so it looks much better like this, right? And if you want to apply some kind of transition, some kind of hover, you can apply a different style hover right now. I can say, okay, that you got to have that, what do you call that? I told you the last time. Okay, let me give something else here. So let me give this property right here. Okay, just a moment. Have I used it? No, I have never used it, right? Okay, let me use it now. So what I do right here, I will say that I am going to give you, let's say about a gradient or a radial gradient, right? Now, radial gradient is not going to work here, right? Maybe text shadow is going to work. Who knows? Should I go for text shadow or maybe box shadow? All right. No, I don't think that is also going to work for me. Let me try changing. I'll say whenever you pass mouse over, right, you give me text dash decoration as, let's say about blink or overline. So I'll say overline. Sufficient for us to know. Yeah, that's fine. And I'll say cursor pointer, right? Okay, now you can see that you're having cursor. That's sufficient. That's sufficient. Now let me go quickly to the top navigation, and I'll just use, let me not have it, let me not give it an ID, right? Let me use top sidebar. I'll tell you why, right? I will say hash top has UL and it has LI, and also I will say top has a navigation, and then inside navigation it has an li, let me just target li directly, and I'll say, right, sidebar has a nav tag and nav has ul tag. So now I'm going with, but yeah, still it doesn't work. So let me see this. Top sidebar. Okay, it's a class. Why do I target it with ID? Now you can see it's a class, right? So that's the mistake we made it for the first time. So class is called with dot. Alright. Okay, now we'll see, and you'll see the same thing being applied. Yeah, that was a mistake. Top sidebar, which is this aside, has nav and it has ul, and top sidebar has nav has li. That's what I do. Top sidebar has nav and ul, margin left 100 and margin top 10, so that it comes here and from top 10. And then we have li, display inline, give padding so that they are, just like they work, they look like menu, and then border right, just to give this a bit of shade, and yeah, everything else is fine. So let me go now to, let me copy the same nav. Let me not copy the nav here. Let me do something else here for you. All right, so let me have three navigations right here. Okay, this is the navigation, and here what I will have is input type button. Alright, and I'll say this is input type button, and class is btn login. The first button is going to be the btn login, right? And let me have the second button for you, and now I'll tell you how color combinations work. And it is going to be subscribe. Alright, so this is going to be subscribe class, and the value here is going to be log in, and the value here is going to be, right, let's say subscribe, subscribe, right? Let me have it like this, right? So we have now, let me take this aside here, so that we get ample amount of space for styling, right? Yeah, but indentation is very important, so don't compromise over indentations, right? So now you can see it's properly indented, right? Sorry, so this is top right bar, and it has two buttons, or maybe we'll have a search also. So I'll say li, and I'll tell you why do we require this li also. So now I'll take all two codes right here, and I will say that now we are styling top sidebar right. Now I'll have to do it for a right. So let me go back to CS, and I'll copy a right here and a right. So let me see how does it look now. Now you can see it looks like this, right? Because you're starting from the beginning. But what I do right here, I will say, hey ul, right? You mind if you float towards right? I want you towards right hand side, so that is here. Or even if you don't want that, right, that's much better. That's much better. And I'll say margin right is 200 pixels. All right, we gave this margin of say around 100 pixels. This is 100 pixels from left, and this is 100 pixels from right. And I don't want any border. Right, I don't want any border, so border is gone, and login and subscribe is there. Now all depends on how we style this login and subscribe button, right? And I'll just call this button, I'll say top sidebar has a navigation, and that has an li, and I am, or we can target directly. So let me target directly this button right here. Alright, so I have this button btn login and subscribe. So I'll say I want to style btn login, and I want to style subscribe. Now let me style subscribe, and let me style btn login. So now the first thing that I am going to do here is give padding to both of them 10 pixels, and see how 10 pixels padding will look now. Yeah, it's absolutely fine, maybe not fine. 5 pixels. Button should always be rectangular shape, they look much better, right? So I'll also say subscribe will have padding of 5 pixels, but yeah, they are going to have the width of 100 pixels maybe. Yeah, 100 looks better, not bad. And it is also going to have the width of 100 pixels. So now they are even, right? So they look evenly poised, right? So no problem at all. Now what I do, let's look background. What is the background of this line here, right? So this is how we do color combinations, right? And this is the color here, which is F60. I'll take the same color and I'll say background is equal to F60. Now it has background of X60, and here I will say border, right, and I'll say 1 pixels solid F60. Now see, now this has the color and this has background. So I'll tell you why. And now what I do to this BT and login here is something like this. So I'll say background. So hey, you mind if you have background of white, and I will give the second background. The background of this color will be the foreground of this button. So let me say color, and it is the foreground now, right? So now you can see the foreground and the background, they're matching quite well, but yeah, I still have to do font family. I just made that font family light here, which is font light. So can I use the same? Yeah, I can say font light. So let me see how does this. Yeah, it looks much better now. Font light. No, it doesn't look. So I will say font semi light maybe. No, semi light is semi bold. Okay, let me use a regular font. Regular is already set, so let's not do this. Let me say font size of 14 pixels. It already has 14, I suppose. Yeah, and let me go and say 13 pixels. Much better. Let me go and say 12 pixels. Much better. Let me go and say 11 pixels. Much better, right? And then we still have to increase the padding to 8 pixels so that it gets that even shape. And here I will increase subscribe button padding to 8 pixels. Why? Because I want to give it same font size, right? Okay, now let me give it the border. So the border is going to be just border 1 pixels solid, right? And I'll say hash. I will give the darker side, right? Now see how it looks, right? You can see slightly darker, but yeah, color. So I'll say color is going to be white. So now it resembles with design. Now you see that this slight orange shade and this slight orange shade, they justify each other, right? And second thing, I still feel that Li has font size 12 pixels, much be better. No, let me say 13 pixels would be better. Yeah. Now 13 pixel looks crappy right here, so 14 is not bad. Okay, now then you see that the color here is adjusted, right? And I can say, I'll apply the transition here. So I'll say color, and the second thing that I'll go and do with subscribe button is cursor. You can do it on hover also, but yeah, cursor pointer, right? So both has now cursor pointer. Now you can see this is orange with a slight darker border. So you mind if I make it too dark? If I make it more darker, who knows? Yeah, let me try making it more darker so that it is evident, right, that it is a bit. Yeah, now this is subscribe, and then this is. Now I'll do something else with this, right? Now let's see how to make it more better and how to beautify this button, right? You heard of something known as box shadow. So I'll give WebKit dash box dash shadow. So I'm giving box shadow this time, right? Understand? And I'm giving it in a different style. I'll say RGB, which is red, green, and blue. I'll have to supply now red, green, and blue. What is the percentage of red? What is the percentage of blue? I'll just give 110, which is gray. 110, right? So this is what we have given. And offset of 10 pixels from top, 10 pixels bottom, right, left, top, bottom. So let me see how does this 10 pixel look. RGB. Now you can see it has the shadow, lots and lots of shadow, right? I'll say, okay, hey, I don't want 10 pixels. You mind if you give me 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 1 pixels, 2 pixels. Now you can see it looks like it's engraved or it's embossed, right, with something like this. And you can also say something like this. If you want to give a box shadow, you can give RGB and you can give RGBA, right? So if I go and say RGBA angle, right, and I have to apply one more property here, how much percent. So I'll say I want 0.6% effect of this. Now you can see it looks now much better, right? How do you want it to be? So I'll say 0.2, maybe. Yeah, now you can see how beautiful this button looks. So let me increase this to 1 pixels again. Right, so now I'll say instead of 0.2, let me make it 0.1. Okay, 0.1 is not there right now. Now you see this, that slide, it looks very, very subtle right here. Now what this property is just that percentage, right? And I'll apply the same to second button. Now you can see they just look different, right? If I zoom in, now you can see, right, how better they look. Slight border with 1%, right? You can see very slight and very subtle box shadow, right? So this is how we apply box shadow right here. Now you can see subtle look, right? And the second thing is that you can still apply. I'll show you it. I'll show it to you on second thing. For example, if I have a third button here, right, and I call this subscribe as well, but let's say test. So this is not the button for design, this is just to test, right? I will write dot test, alright, so this is just to test. Now you can see the test button is here, and I'll apply all the properties to this, but I'll not apply any color, right? I'll not apply any background color here, and I will not apply any color nor any background color. So no background, no color at all. Now you can see it has some border. I'll just get rid of the border as well, right? So now I'll teach you what is, let me have 18 pixels of padding. Yeah, now you can see it here. I just want to show you, maybe let me have 13 pixels of padding, and let me increase the width to 200 pixels, right? Maybe 200 is more, 150 pixels. Right, now you can see the subscribe button here. This is just to test radial gradient, right? So now if I supply radial gradient, right, and now I say I want background color, but I don't want a normal background color. I'll say background. I want a gradient, right, which is you start from black and then slowly get faded out. So I'll say dash WebKit, right? So background is going to be dash WebKit dash. So I'll say dash LINEAR, linear, and then gradient. Now a linear gradient, and now I'll say this is going to be top. How much do you want? I'll say I want 45 degrees top, so I'll have to apply this DEG, right? And that is going to be linear gradient. Okay, let me show you just a moment. That is going to be linear gradient top, and then we have, let me apply some color, black and white, right? I want this black and white to be spreaded across the button by 45 degrees. Now if I see, now you can see it starts from 45 degrees, it starts from black. Now you can see, just let me zoom in, it starts from black and slowly fades in, right? You can change the degree, you can change the angle. I'll say 90 degree, right? Now you can see from 90 degrees it started fading in, or from 45 degrees you can start fading. Or you can say, for example, I have the same color. I start from here to white. Alright, now you can see slightly fading it towards the whiter portion. Or you can mix two colors right here. For example, I have this darker and lighter color. I can mix two darker and lighter colors with linear gradient. Now you can see, right, it's basically mixing. Or I can go towards white, or I can go towards black, and it depends on your choice. Now you can see this is what gradient is for you, right? All right, you can say red and slowly start fading it towards yellow, or you can say black and I want to fade it towards yellow. All right, so 45-degree means you are starting from top. And you can see black and slightly fading. And now if I zoom in, it still looks subtle. It still looks better. Radial gradient still looks much better, right? So this is not my topic. I just wanted to show you. And you guys should more do it. You should experiment with radial gradient more, right? And it's much better for you to actually practice this radial gradient more. And it's very good. It's very good, right? So I'll just delete this radial gradient. I hope you've understood it, right? And so will I delete this button right here, right? Okay, now we have this, and we have this, and just resembling with as that of, the background. Okay. Alright, and now we still have something known as orientation. I told you about orientation. I told you about many different things, isn't it? Right? I don't remember the things that I have taught you. Right? Animations, perhaps. Did we guys go through animations? I suppose yes, we learned animation. So let me show you once again. Now if I go, I just delete this test. It was just to show you. Now if I say that whenever mouse is passed towards this subscribe button, and whenever mouse is passed towards this login button, right, what do you want me to do? Right, what do you want me to do? I will say that you do something, right? Hover, do opposite, right? And here hover, and now you do opposite of what it is. For example, if I pass mouse over this, turn it black and turn the foreground as this, and if I go to here, turn this orange and turn the foreground to white, right? So now first is subscribe, so I will say background is equal to white. That's FF, right? Is that understood? Okay, let me go and show you. I slowly pass mouse, it goes white. And now what do you want foreground color to be? The same foreground color that we have used right here, right? So here with this button, right? Okay, now this thing is done. So I want to change background and foreground. That's it. You can see it's changing, and I'll do the opposite of this. So I will say, right, my background to be F60 and my color to be FFF, which is white. Now it will turn opposite, right? Now this button has turned what this was, and this has turned what this was. Now you can see, right? You're clicking this and you're clicking this. Now just keeping it different will give you a subtle look, all right? And now if you want some transitions, you can say, hey, subscribe button. I don't want you to fade in just like this. It doesn't look professional, right? I want to give you some effects, right? And I'll say, hey, wait a second, I'll give you an animation. And I call this animation name. I'll say animation name is going to be, okay, let me not give you an animation right here. Let me apply transition, right? So by applying animation here, I'll say transition. I'll say transition property is going to be on background. You can apply it on width, you can apply it on height as well. And transition duration, I will keep 1. S means seconds, right? And transition timing, right, function is going to be linear, right? So I'll take this to subscribe button and I'll take it to BTN login button as well, right? Now you can see When it comes, it just comes faded in. Now you can see transition. It doesn't just come, it comes with transition. Right, now you can see if I pass the mouse, transition, pass the mouse, transition, and it goes in transition and comes in transition as well. Meanwhile, so I just know that I've already taught you these things, right? So let me go back to this source code right here, and let me write something like this here. Okay, now we have this content area which is aside, which has an aside, right, which is div id content div, and we have this main section which has this logo, and inside logo we have this div. Right, I can say Srinagar Residency Center here. Now you're getting Srinagar Residency Center, and it's coming at absolutely, you can hit a BR and see. Okay, fine. All right, and it's going to be somehow like a blog page that we are going to write maybe, right? And I'll go to logo. Header ID is equivalent to logo. Where is our logo? Yeah, so this here logo. We're not targeting logo, we're targeting logo image. I'll say hey logo, right? If I say your font, your letter, or I'll say text dash transform to uppercase. Now it has transformed it to uppercase, and I will say hey, would you mind if you use font size of 14 pixels only? You'll say okay, I'm using 14 pixels, let me use 15 pixels. Much better. So let me use 16 pixels. Right, so much better. Srinagar Residency Center. So let me write an article now directly. Now this is your section. It has an header, right? Inside header, now I can have article div, right? And I can have as many articles as I want. And do not forget that article has an header, right? And article has a footer, right? So this button article has a header and article has a footer, right? And now you can write a blog, right? HTML, or we can say learn HTML5 layouts and color combinations, right, with ease, right? And I can say with ease at NIIT Srinagar Residency Center. So this is some kind of heading for the blog, and now see where it has come. It's only because it does not have that transition and every single thing that we have applied. We haven't applied anything to article as of now, right? Because this article is still outside this header, which is this header that we started, right? Because this should have box layout or maybe horizontal or whatever. So let me go to main section first. So this is here, right? So this is main section, so it is flexible, and let me just go ahead here, all right, and it is already flexible. Now you can see that we kept it flexible, all right, and I will say text align. I'm just showing you, right, and then I'll use the box align, right, left. So the moment I say text align left, no, I'll have to say just let me get rid of this, right, fine. So it is flexible model, and now what I want this text to come after this, which is header ID logo, all right. And what is the width given to logo? So let me try this. The logo, I will say, right, width 100%. Whatever is available, you go and take the entire width. Now you can see where it goes. It goes from this side, all right. I want it to come from this side. So let me show you another property right here, all right. I'll go to my main section, right. So this is what problems we may face, or we often face these problems, right? And once it is flexible, I'll say, okay, I don't mind you being flexible, but yeah, what is your box back? All right, where are you floating towards? All right, what do I want you to float towards? All right, and different things. Right, things are not going to be easy for you, or they're not going to fall as you expect them to fall for you. Right, you always have to remember these these tips and tricks regarding your article. All right, and let me first do many different things with articles. So I will say I have article. Right, so what I want my article to be, I want my article to have margin. All right, so I'll say I want it to have margin, let's say about 30 pixels. Now the moment I give 30 pixels, now you can see it has come near, because I want it to have 30 pixels from all the sides, not from one side. Having 30 pixels from one side is not going to be right, or you can say 60 pixels, and you can see the impact. It's still coming underneath this, right, which is the main thing, that it should not come near. But yeah, 30 pixels for my liking is going to be sufficient, right? I can say float left, right, or you can say float right. Float left is not going to work because your alignment is already horizontal, right? That's what you have to be very sure of, how to give that alignment and how to give that orientation, right? That WebKit orientation that I was talking of, right? And yeah, now since things are not easy handling, flexible models, so I can even use this property. So I can say dash WebKit dash box dash orient. I want my box orientation to be vertical, right, or I want my box orientation, right, to be horizontal. The moment I said vertical, you will see now everything has fallen into place. Now all the articles which you are going to have inside will fall now vertical, right? And maybe for that your article maybe has too much of let me say article. No, it's article. Okay. Article 30 pixels has too much, so I will say margin top 10 pixels, and then all the sides are going to be taken automatically. Now you can see it's taken automatically. We say margin top 20 pixels, and I'll say margin bottom 20 pixels as well, so that I differentiate between articles. So my articles find and fall under a different place, right? So for example, if I have another article, so still I didn't write article yet, I'm just using the same thing, which is basically the text layout only, or we can say only the heading of the article. If you can see, we have written only the heading, so you can say learn HTML5 is going to be heading only, right? So this is learn HTML5. Now you can see that it's still coming towards here because the property flexible is true, right? And you can do this as well to your article. So I'll say your article has width, so I'll say maximum, or you can say minimum dash width is 100%, right? So these things do happen, right? Now if I make it a bit flexible, so let me see how flexible it is. You may suffer these problems. Yeah, you can see now it's coming automatically where it has to come, right? So it's going to adjust all the laptop resolutions, every single resolution, right? So now this is heading learn HTML5, right, at NIIT, right? So let me keep it capital. Now capital is only this, so I'll say learn HTML5 at NIIT. So right, so this is going to be my heading, right, and this is the header, and this is the footer, and this is the paragraph of my article now, right? This is how you apply it in the real world, right? Layouts and color combinations with ease at NIIT Srinagar. Now, right, what do you want this header to be? Right, I'll go to article. I'll say, hey article, if you find header, right, the header inside you now is going to be for the full website, because we are not targeting any ID, we're targeting the header and article directly. I'll say please take color of what we have already chosen, F90. Now you can see, no, we have not chosen F90, F60, I suppose, no, F60, right? Okay. Now you've chosen the same, right? And choose font family as font bold, right? We already imported bold. Now you can say it's bold, right? So it's still bold to some good amount of extent, right? You can see that is bold, and paragraph is right here, right? And now then I think everything looks fine. Now let me add some more content here, right? And center learn best website designs to inspire you in 2020, right? So now I have written an article, maybe, who knows, it looks like an article. Let's say it's an article that we have written, right? And in 2020, okay, footer is going to be, let's say ADMISSION, admissions open, right? So this is what my footer is going to be, or let me say admissions 2020, or we can say admissions open, right? And I'll quickly go to the footer. I'll say, hey, article, if article has a header, article 2 has an footer, right? If you mind my footer having the same color as well, no, not overdo. You cannot overdo on colors, right? It's always have to be subtle on colors. And I'll say font semi-bold, right? Semi-bold has worked, and I can say float towards right. Now this becomes a complete article. Maybe I'll say regular, regular. Not regular, it is font FONT, font regular. Now you can see it has become, let's say, about a complete website, right? And admissions open would be much better if you make it just like a button right here or right here. So now I can say, hey, you mind if I give you a background color of 100 pixels? Sorry, what is background color of 100 pixels? You mind if I give you background color of F90? So now you can see it has taken it. And now if you mind if I give you a padding of 10 pixels, and if you mind if I give you color of white, and if I something I forgot. Right, now you can see how good it looks. You mind if I give you font size of only 13 pixels? Right, and now your article looks like subtle article, right? Much better, much 3D, or sorry, much retina based, right? And if I say float, let me have it something like this. I will say margin. Okay, you mind if you take margin of 30 pixels from all the sides? Now you can see this is your complete article. Now if you want your article to have something like this, I'll tell you what, padding of 10 pixels, fine, right? And let's say padding left 0 pixels. I don't want left side padding. Okay, fine. You mind if I say border 1 pixels solid hash towards the lighter side, maybe? Let me see now. Now this is what your article may look like. Okay, let me have padding left of 10 pixels. Let me give only padding of 10 pixels, so it was. Alright, so this is your article. Now see how subtle the article is, right? Don't give box shot, it's going to jeopardize it, right? Right, so now it's much better. Let me take this residency center a bit, not too much. I just delete this BR here. Fine, Srinagar Residency Center is cool. Or maybe article is cool, so let me keep it with BR. Yeah, that you have to do your R&D. Now it looks much better from here and from here. Color combination is also good, right? The flexible model is also good. And this is what you print. You only do practice. Do not do anything else. Only develop this. Only design one, let's say about top menu. Only take 1 week to design top menu, but design it professionally. Don't design the complete website. That's why I show you bit by bit, bit by bit. I first manually, deliberately generate errors and then show you how to rectify those problems, right? Floating here, coming there, right? So I show you manually, right? And doing things professionally is basically need of an art. Let me show you all the browsers. So I'll use Edge. This is Edge. I'll use same Edge. Now you can see, all right, the website using Microsoft Edge. Microsoft using the same website using Internet Explorer. Okay. Now see, basically, okay, I'm using compatibility view here. So I'll basically have to remove the compatibility view. Sorry, my mistake. Now what I did here, basically I changed, forget it, I'll go to Opera. I changed it because of compatibility issues, right? Because I had compatibility issues with IE9, so that's why I changed it. Okay, now you can see the same website using Opera browser. All right, you can see that it does not change. So I can go back and show you using Firefox if I have. No, I don't have Firefox. It's not going to change now. You can see all the WebKit browsers are going to deal with the same. Yeah, but you know, you have to use latest, not like me, because my Internet Explorer is using IE7 settings, so it's not going to work on IE7. So that is for sure, right? And this is the latest version of Internet Explorer, so you can try this, or you can try Google Chrome, right? And since CSS is going to get updations, it's getting updations, and every browser is getting regular updations. So WebKit is going to vanish one day, so it's going to be plain CSS. But yeah, just to distinguish between WebKit browsers, like which use WebKits, right? If you see user agent, because you will not be able to understand WebKit browsers completely, understand, unless you understand user agents, and you actually jump into application development, web application development, rather than web application designs, and then and only then you're going to understand every single thing. So this is laptop flexible model, not desktop flexible, right? It is going to go, because your image is not flexible here, that I deliberately did it, right? But you can see from here, every single thing in here is flexible, right? You can see, right? So it's going to take any version of your desktop, right? And then I'll tell you, slowly and steadily we are going to complete. Now we have another sections, and then we have footer. We are going to complete it slowly and steadily, but yeah, I'll have to give you ample time to practice. Just develop this, just see, don't go through the code, right? Understand what is vertical, what is horizontal, right? And then only then you understand. Yeah, you're going to face many problems, but you need to be patient and practice very hard, right? And be patient. Now for example, if I add another article here, what I do, this is what happens in programming, right? We go and call all the articles in loop. Now if I add another article, now you can see it has exactly come in the same manner, right? Now you can see this, how cool it is, right? So I'll be keeping it online for you guys. Only 2 files are there, so I don't want to use many different files. So I'll go to, what was the folder name, right? It was HTML, I don't know, what was it? Last time I kept that website somewhere, right? If you know what was the destination, HTML practice or something, HTML class, yeah. Was the HTML class? Yeah, that's what I suppose it was, HTML class. Alright, so let me see online, and iitsrinagar.com, and it's going to be HTML class 5. Yeah, it was HTML class 5 index.html. Alright, so today I am going to use, see the difference, see the color difference, see how subtle we have developed it. Everything, font, everything started perfectly. Since we are not developing the main page, our intentions are to develop the blog page. That's why I've shown you some articles from this site, right? I hope it's clear. So I'll go to HTML5 class, and I am going to add this website of yours, right, which is home, right? So I will add this home page, and I have to add one image perhaps, which is this text inside image, and I have to perhaps add one more styling sheet, which is style.css. Am I right? Style.css. Okay, now let me see this, and let me change it to old.html, and let me change it now to index.html, right? So now I'll keep the link in the description section, or you can directly go and find it and download it, right? So let me show you nidshrenagar.com/html5 class. That's what you have to type. HTML5 class is max what you type. The moment you type it, right, I did not upload fonts. Yeah, you can see. Okay, where are fonts? Okay, my fonts directory is here, so I will have to upload it at well. Why am I uploading it to fonts? Oh my god, I did something wrong. It went to styles. And meanwhile, still it's not going to do too much, so I'll cut paste it, right? But yeah, the speed is good. Okay, it's uploading like anything. It knows it's already late. We're past maybe 51 minutes to today, so classes are going to be now longer because style takes hell amount of time, so we'll have to be pretty sure about, you know. So I will say, okay, add files, delete, rename, create a new, add files to queue. How do you copy this to here? Maybe like this, drag and drop. Alright, so I will just go to HTML5 and see fonts have come. Yeah, fonts have come. So now let me refresh. Yeah, you can see now font is also there. And it plays a very vital role. Now you can see that fonts also play a very vital role, right? So you can download this font, go through the lesson. I need exactly this, and please submit exactly this page, right? I want you to copy and add your page to RAR and send it to me. In case if you require any help, you can let me know down in the comment section, right? And yeah, I cannot go professional 100%. If I go 100% professional, you'll never know what is bad. I'll have to show you bad things again and again in order for you to understand good things out in the market. So it will be carnage if you go directly to higher and without knowing lower. That means you'll always be copying things. I don't want you to copy, but to learn things. And wish you all the best. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care.